when we start to practice of being more in the present moment and being in the now, which as a matter of fact is the only true reality that it really exists, because everything else is just an illusion. When we're paying too much attention of what has already happened, which is the past, we are out of touch with reality. When we're paying too much attention and worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day and next week and next month, next year, we are also out of touch with reality, because that doesn't exist. Because the times that has been the present moment at that time, and the future will be the present moment at that time. That's the thing. We have to get that around now, that time is an illusion. It doesn't really exist. That's only a concept made up by us because we want to keep track of things, and but the system is built regarding this concept of time. But when we experience things in a moment as it is, I noticed that you usually tend to go through, at least you can say 2-3 phases. So in this video I wanted to walk through them, and wanted to make you more aware of what you can expect when you start practicing this. Because let's face it, even though it's so natural, it's supposed to be so natural for us to just experience everything as it's supposed to be with our 5 senses. We can feel things, we can smell things, we can touch, we can taste, and all these beautiful things, and we can look at things. But we're missing out all these things because we, for some reason, are, like we talked about so many times, that we're caught up in thinking all the time. We're so addicted to that. And if we're not thinking very much, we're stimulated by external things all the time. If we can learn to experience the things that we are partaking in as of now, we will start to notice that reality becomes a totally different place. When I really started practicing this year, and to really get more deep in this and really start to understand what this is about, everything changes. Because you will absolutely 100% realize that everything is, for a fact, created inside yourself. Because you will notice that so many things that used to happen to you, that you used to feel, was created by you. Because I'm pretty certain that a lot of times when you've been doing things, you were just doing them because you just wanted to get them done, Maybe you were cleaning your house or apartment, you were doing the dishes, you were cleaning the car. Maybe you're just driving the car, you just did it because you wanted to get rid of it. And you viewed everything that was happening as something that was wrong. If you were driving the car in traffic and it was a traffic line, traffic queue, someone was cutting you in from an angle, someone was driving up very close on the back end, and you get pissed. But when you learn to tap into the reality that is the only true reality, which is the present moment, you will notice that these are just thoughts that you gave attention to. And the attention you gave it for that long a period of time is what created your emotion. And that emotion is what made you either happy or sad. But when you just experience everything as it is now, that's not going to happen. Because your experience is of driving the car, let's say, doing the dishes, cleaning the house or the apartment. And everything that happens during that time is part of that experience. Most of us, when we were doing things before, we didn't really do things by our conscious decision, because we were doing things because of past behavior, programming from young age, outside from ourselves, from society, from friends and family members. And we noticed that a lot of the decision we made wasn't really our own decisions. So what I learned, and what I noticed from myself at least, is that, now I'm talking from my own experience, is that I was this kind of person. I like to take the example when you're driving the car, because I think I noticed that has been a very good place for me to really practice this, because I have really been having very good success of tapping into the present moment. Because I really enjoyed driving the car. And I noticed that the experience of driving the car becomes 100-fold, if not even more, when you just still the mind and you're just feeling everything. You're feeling the bumps in the road, you're steering the wheel, you're shifting the gearbox, you're braking, you're hearing, you're feeling the the rain dropping from the windshield, and everything that's going on around you, and the wind and the tires on the road. I mean, it's a completely different reality. It's a completely different experience. But it didn't start like that. So the first thing it was for me, its an example, was that I always chased things from outside myself. I wanted to be stimulated. Because let's face it, as well as I do, that we live in such an overstimulated society today. We hate being bored because we just need to have something going on all the time. We need to do things all the time. We need to listen to things. We need to hear things. We need to view things. And we want the attention from other people all the time. We want someone to write to us, to call us. We want to be popular. We want to have status. So I had a very hard time to just drive the car before. I always needed something. If it wasn't the radio, I wanted a podcast or a YouTube channel. I wanted to talk to someone on the phone. But I noticed that it was very hard to just drive the car. Or maybe I wanted to eat something as well. You can have that as well. Eat or drink something. But when you can just learn to move away from that time, from that phase, you will move into the next one. And that is going to be the place where you just sit with yourself, you're driving the car, but you're not really paying attention to the experience of driving the car. You're more paying attention to all the thoughts that occur in your mind, inside yourself. Because you will notice that when you cut out all the external stimulations, your mind will just bombard you with thoughts. Bum, bum, bum. And you'll sit like a victim in the car and like, what the fuck is going on here? You give too much attention to one thought, you start to get emotional, you get angry, you get upset. Or maybe you get happy, you get glad, and you start to laugh, but usually the negative ones. But so that's going to be a phase you're going to be stuck in for a while, because you're going to learn that, and that's okay. We got to accept that it's going to take time, and it's not like you stay in this moment all the time. That takes a lot of practice. I'm no way near there yet, but as soon as I move away from being in the moment, I want to go back there, because that's the heaven, The other place is hell. So I rather choose to stay in heaven. It's pretty simple. But at least that's better than the first one, because now at least you can accept that you have a mind, because you've been conscious about that. So you're consciously aware that you are bombarding yourself with thoughts. But like I said, it's only illusions, because you are not the mind, you're not the thoughts. They just arises inside you, and they are your illusion that you take so seriously. But so you're gonna stay there for some time, but after a while you're gonna feel like it doesn't really serve me anymore. Maybe you start to practice a little bit. That's why usually people start to meditate, to be in the moment. That's the only time during the day that they can calm down and still the mind a little bit, at least. Like, think it for yourself, like if you can have that moment when you're driving the car also, or maybe you're doing the dishes, or maybe you're cleaning the house. You have several moments during the day that you are really in the moment. And I promise you're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're going to feel an immense lowering of your stress hormones, like cortisol, adrenaline. You will feel like you will become a completely different person. You will be more happy as well, because the thing that you thought was boredom and you were sad and felt bad was just your mind playing games with you. Because that's not the case. You were just overly stimulated, and you thought you were bored. But like I said, when you tap into the real reality, which is this moment now, you will notice that this is as good as it gets. And even the traffic cues, the people who behave bad in the traffic, you will appreciate them, because you will notice that these are part of the experience of driving the car. Maybe you're doing your dishes and you're dropping a glass who goes to a million pieces. You will notice that it's pretty okay. It's just a glass. Now I have got a new experience to take up the glass from the floor. So those are the things that you're gonna notice, because I mean, it's hard to tell, but if you haven't experienced this, it's hard to understand what I mean. But like, after I started doing this and like really got to get so much deeper understanding about this, is that been several times now when I've been, like I said, cleaning dishes, and I dropped things on the floor. Where I used to get pissed, like really angry, like what the fuck? Why am I so unlucky? Why is this happening to me? Oh, looking at the watch, oh, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be late now. But when you're just doing the thing, you don't think about anything. You just view it in the sense that start to laugh, almost like you start to laugh because how silly you used to behave. But now I'm just still so calm. Who cares? I don't have any stress. I'm just experiencing everything as it is now. And that's the beauty of this. And that's also what you can get to. But we have to start somewhere. It's gonna take a time. It's not gonna be easy. It's a lot easier said than done, because for myself, I can have the most amazing days where I'm just, most of during the days, my mind is so calm, but all of a sudden I can be occupied with thoughts. And I don't even noticed when that happened, because we're so used to it. And this is obviously the result of past behavior, repeatedly behavior that we've done over a long period of time. And we are so used to being, like I said, either stimulated by thought or stimulated by external things. So it's gonna take time, and we have to let ourselves accept that. We have to accept ourselves that it's not gonna be easy. But what you will also understand when you start to tap into this moment is that you realize that there really is nothing to be upset about. There really is nothing wrong with the world. There really is nothing wrong with yourself. And everything that you have ever been scared about, everything that you have ever been angry, upset, frustrated about, is your own imaginations and illusions you created inside yourself. Because they don't exist. That's what you will notice when you can still and calm down the mind. So that's the reward. The big and the great reward with you practicing this is that you will finally notice that it's all illusions and everything's fine. But it's not wrong with anything, you know? Everything is just perfect now. Everything is good. Everything's fine. And you will actually start to enjoy all these things, because you will notice that you will actually view them in another way. You will now view them as a part of the experience. Because all these things I said when you were like going into traffic, it's part of that experience to drive the car. And also when we notice that how much more calmer you will become, you will also notice that all the stress you felt before has also been created inside yourself. That's what when I've been traveling, I met people from different places of the world, and I made a friend a few years back. She was from Tanzania, and she always said to me that from where she was, from the city in Tanzania, she said that sometimes they could be maybe 30 minutes late or maybe an hour, and that was normal. That was like, no worries, that's just how we do it here. And I said to her that could never happen here, because sometimes when I was gonna meet up with her, because we had a project together, she could be like 30 minutes late, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Do you have any idea what the time is? And she was so relaxed and like, okay. And in the beginning I was really like triggered by that, because I was like, that's disrespectful. But at the end of the day, like I said, time is an illusion. It's just a concept, because we want to keep track on time. We want to keep track on everything that we do, because we live in a world of business and commerce, and that's why everything is made up like this, so that we keep having times when we make business and stuff, you know, making deals and all this stuff. But if we were to be honest, like, it's a concept, because it doesn't exist. It will never go anyway, because it's eternal. And once you realize that, why do we even stress about things? That's what I like to say, that when we're out in nature as well, sitting by a tree, viewing a gorgeous view or something like that, maybe viewing a gorgeous sunset, those are the times when you really understand that everything is created from you, from your mind. Because everything is perfect. And it's very beautiful. And when we tap into those moments, that's really where the magic happens, and we really notice that, wow, we do not actually need much, because life is so beautiful as it is. And all the times that we felt like we were bored and stuff is that we always wanted to be stimulated by stuff. We always felt like we needed things needed to happen. Because I know how it is. I was there as well. Like, I always had trouble, like, just like I said, driving the car without anything. Maybe you want to take a look at even the phone when you're driving, sneaking, you know, listening to something, having something going on because you're bored. But when we learn to accept and really appreciate the boredom, which is also something that you create inside yourself, because you don't pay attention to the experience that's happening right now, which is you driving a car, or maybe you walking outside in the woods or in the street, whatever you're doing. The only thing that you think is boring is because you're so used to be so highly overstimulated all the time that your senses become affected by that behavior. After a while, you will notice that it's going to be a lot more joyful and a lot more fun to just do the thing without you thinking about anything. Because when we are at that place, which is always something I 100% want to strive to get to, every time I get caught up in the mind, I want to get back to that place, that beautiful and amazing heaven. Because we create the heaven or hell on this place. We do it from ourselves. That's why I said it so many times. I think actually we passed 8 billion people now, and everyone has their different reality. 8 billion realities. Because you can look at the same sky, you can look at the same out from the same window, and everyone is projecting it differently. That's how amazing everything is. So I hope you enjoyed the video and got the message, and start to practice and being in the moment now, because you will never regret it, because you will realize that that's the only moment that exists. So you might as well just try to learn how to deal with it and accept it. We talk soon. Take care now. Bye.